Hello there, incredible upgraded eagles. I'm going to read chapter 8 today, just chapter 8, and we're going to get right into it. Chapter 8, Mommy's Birthday Party. Mommy's birthday party is planned as a small surprise party with a few friends, not unlike Miguel's birthday back in March. But soon it turns into a block party that will be like the ones they used to have in New York. Except that here in Vermont, there's no such thing as a simple block. You have neighbors who have neighbors who have neighbors, and before you know it, you have the whole county coming over to your house for your small surprise party. There is one other reason why the party keeps growing that cannot be blamed on Vermont. Tia Lola. She is the friendliest person Miguel and Juanita have ever known. Tia Lola speaks with everyone. To practice my English, she explains, though she really just loves people. After a chat with Reggie, the UPS man, whom months ago she turned away from her door, Tia Lola goes running down the drive after the brown van. "What are you doing on August 30th?" She gasps when Reggie finally sees her in his rearview mirror and stops the van. "Coming over to your house for your niece's party," Reggie replies. "What else?" Melrose, the town clerk, says the same thing when Tia Lola asks him. And Ernestine, who runs the seamstress shop, and Johnny, who has a car garage, and Petey, who owns a pet shop, and the three waitresses at Rudy's restaurants, Sandy, Shauna, and Dawn, and Shauna's husband and Dawn's sister, and Sandy's partner, who has a best friend. In less than 2 weeks, over 70 people will be descending on the house. "We've got to plan Mommy's party, Tia Lola," Miguel keeps reminding his aunt. But Tia Lola seems unfazed. She stands in front of the house, her head cocked, looking at her masterpiece. The painting is finally finished. The house is completely purple with a salmon pink trim. Maybe, just maybe, Tia Lola wonders out loud, turquoise with hot pink would work better? "About the party," Miguel tries again. "We've got to plan, Tia Lola." "Tú sabes lo que dicen de los planes?" Tia Lola says, winking. "Does he know what they say about plans? Make them, but be prepared to break them." "Yeah, I know," Miguel agrees. "Like when we invited 10 people, now we've got over 70. Exactamente. Tia Lola smiles as if she had nothing to do with it. On Saturday morning, while Mommy putters downstairs, Tia Lola finally calls a secret planning session in her bedroom. She is wearing her purple Charlie Boys baseball cap atop her high moño and carrying a clipboard in her hand as if she were assigning positions to the team. 17, 38, 65, she counts. 17, 38, 75. Suddenly, her head jerks up. They have 75 guests coming to Mommy's party. They can't fit that many people in the living room. "I was trying to tell you," Miguel sighs, folding his arms and giving his aunt a pointed look. "I know, I know." Juanita is waving her hand in the air as if she were still in school and had to ask for permission to talk. "Why don't we have a party in the back field?" "Muy buena idea," Tia Lola says, checking that item off the list on her clipboard. Miguel brings up another problem. "How are we going to cook for so many people? Mommy will notice if we start making all this food in the house." "Déjame pensar un momentito," Tia Lola says. She needs to think a moment. When Tia Lola thinks, you can see her thinking. Her painted on eyebrows move slowly toward the center of her face in a thinker's scowl. And just when you think they'll run into each other and become one brow, she jumps up and says, "Aha!" And some great idea pops out of her mouth. This time, nothing pops out of her mouth but a heavy sigh. Nothing pops out of Juanita's mouth or Miguel's mouth either. They can't figure this problem out. The phone rings downstairs. Their mother answers. "Oh, hello, Rudy. Let me get her." "Tia Lola!" Mommy calls up the stairs. Miguel, Juanita, and Tia Lola look at each other and cry. "Ah!" "I think maybe your aunt and Rudy are becoming very fond of each other," their mother notes to Miguel and Juanita a few days later. "Is that so?" Miguel says, trying to look surprised. "She's over there all the time. Maybe Tia Lola will get married after all. Their mother smiles as if she has planned this all along. Why not? Poor Rudy's been widowed for 5 years, and Tia Lola, bueno, she could do with some good company. Miguel remembers that his mother once told him that Tia Lola is very sensitive about the subject of marriage. Mommy, why didn't Tia Lola ever get married? A sad, wistful look comes over her face. Remember how I told you my mother died when I was only 3? Well, my mommy had a little sister, Tia Lola. When mommy died, Tia Lola took care of me. Maybe Tia Lola was too busy being my mother to find a husband. This is a surprise to Miguel and Juanita. You can be a mother without really being the mother. You can be a family even if your parents are no longer married. At last, 77 people are coming tomorrow. At last count, 77 people are coming tomorrow. Miguel and Juanita sorely wish they could add one more person to the list of guests. You have to remember the wish for number 78 reminds them that evening on the phone. It's your mother's birthday, not yours. But it won't be the same without you, Poppy, Miguel says, lowering his voice. His mother is having a pre-birthday massage in the living room from her friend Stargazer. Stargazer looks like a hippie to Miguel and Juanita with her long flowered skirts and natural fiber tunics, her curly hair and dangly earrings. But Stargazer says she's no longer a hippie, but an Irish Armenian Native American with her moon in Cancer. You can't get Stargazer started or you'll ruin Mommy's massages with too much conversation. I don't see why you can't come, Juanita tells her father. She's on the upstairs extension. I'll be there, Poppy says. Really. Just look up and you'll see a brushstroke of white in the sky. And that's me nearby. Titanium white? Juanita guesses in a little voice from her end. See, mi amor, Poppy says. His voice is as small as hers. But to Miguel, Poppy's promise sounds silly. Kid stuff. Like wishing on stars. He is now the captain of the baseball team. He has helped plan a whole surprise party that his mother doesn't know about. And he is too grown up to believe wishes have their own way of coming true. That night, they tell Tia Lola how sad it makes them feel every time there's a family occasion and their poppy or mommy isn't there. You don't ever have to lose anyone you really love, she tells them. They stay with you in your heart. That might be so, but it still hurts not to have Poppy around. To brighten things up, Tia Lola brings up the party tomorrow. I just invited number 78 today. Tia Lola! Both Miguel and Juanita cry out. But this could not be avoided, Tia Lola explains. El Rudy's son. No, Tia Lola, Miguel and Juanita insist. This son has a business, Tia Lola continues. He puts up tents for weddings and parties. Miguel and Juanita are still shaking their heads when they hear the first raindrops falling on the leaves of the locust trees outside the window. Early the next morning, Miguel sits up in bed and looks out. The rain is coming down hard as if the leaves all need a good scrubbing before they take on their fall colors. After so much planning, Mommy's party will be ruined. Perhaps Poppy's hand slipped when he tried to paint only one brushstroke in the sky. When Miguel goes down to the kitchen, Tia Lola is busy preparing Mommy's birthday breakfast. Juanita stands just inside the door, gazing out at the curtain of rain. 2 teardrops join the trillion raindrops falling on the ground. Don't worry, Tia Lola reassures them. Everything will be fine. Just then, their mother enters the room. What is going to be fine, she says, looking from one to the other. Your birthday breakfast, Tia Lola says quickly in Spanish. She sets down a plate of Mommy's favorite, fried onions over mashed plantains, which Rudy special ordered from his distributor in Boston. Feliz cumpleaños, she sings. Miguel and Juanita join in. What a wonderful surprise, their mother cries. Miguel and Juanita look at each other, thinking of the much bigger sorpresa that awaits her. Our special present comes later, Tia Lola explains, nodding at Miguel and Juanita. They have decided that after the surprise party, they will drive up to their mother's favorite spot in the Green Mountains. I don't need another present, their mother says, blinking back happy tears. This is already so special. The only thing is the rain, Miguel notes. We ordered a nice day for your birthday. He tried to sound lighthearted, but he can't hide his disappointment. I got exactly the day I wanted, his mother replies. I love rainy days. I wish for one on my birthday. Miguel and Juanita look at each other surprised. Then they both glance at Tia Lola, who winks as if she already knew that along with onions and plantains, their mother wanted a rainy day on her birthday. A little while later, Stargazer stops by. She needs Linda's advice on a display she's setting up in her store for a new line of incense. Behind Mommy's back, as they go out the door, Stargazer gives Miguel and Juanita the V for victory sign. Their plan is working out. As soon as they drive away, the house goes into full gear. Plates are set up, forks and spoons are laid in baskets, napkins are stacked in leaning towers. Where are the balloons? At about 10 o'clock, a van pulls in at the Purple House on Charlie Boy Lane. The driver dashes toward the front door in the driving rain. He has a vaguely familiar wide smile and rumpled hair. He wears sneakers and a red bow tie that makes his whole face look like a gift tied with a ribbon. I got a delivery here for you, he tells Miguel. Where do you want it? Bring it right in, Miguel says, hurrying away. It's too big to bring right in, the man calls after him. But Miguel is already halfway down the hall and doesn't hear. Soon Rudy will arrive with the tasty pastries and dishes Tia Lola has been cooking over at the restaurant. At noon, the guests will start streaming in. Half an hour later, Stargazer will return with their mother. Miguel and Juanita are hurrying here and there, pushing furniture against the wall to make room. With the rain continuing, they have decided to move the party indoors. We need Tia Lola's help to move the couch, Miguel tells Juanita. Tia Lola, they both call out. Tia Lola! But Tia Lola cannot hear them. She is standing in the backfield in the rain, helping the bow-tied man and his three workmen set up the large white tent. Looking out from the window at the landing, Juanita sees three white peaks above the maple trees. Then she calls out to Miguel. Look, it must be Rudy's son. They won't have to cram the party indoors after all. Thank goodness for the 78th guest, even if that guest has not turned out to be their poppy. Cars are coming down the driveway and driving into the backfield. Neighbors park and step out, squealing into puddles, carrying gifts and umbrellas. They stand inside the white tent, waiting and visiting with each other. It is the end of the summer. There is talk of what kind of winter to expect in the months to come. Finally, over the sound of rain, they hear a car approaching. Get ready! Tia Lola calls out. A sudden silence falls inside the tent. Miguel and Juanita look around to make sure everything is in place. Under one of the butterfly pinatas, Rudy and Tia Lola are filling up the last of the purple and pink balloons. Colonel Charleboy, wearing his new purple and white striped baseball uniform instead of his old army green uniform, keeps refilling the popcorn bowl, which Miguel's team keeps emptying. Their neighbors, Tom and Becky, are crouched on either side of a lamb, wearing a pink bow with a gift tag attached. Juanita's friends have finished arranging the presents in a pyramid at the center of the tent. At the far end, Reggie is conferring with Mrs. Prouty about which CDs to play on her portable player. Melrose and Petey tie down the last of the tent flaps. Have they really made so many friends in just 8 months? It seems the whole county has gathered together. How they wish their father were here for this big fiesta. Just beyond the tent, the car door opens. Their mother steps out, a look of shock on her face. Surprise! Everyone shouts. And then Tia Lola and Rudy release their balloons with happy birthday written across them in big white letters. Looking up, Miguel and Juanita get their own surprise. Above their heads stretches the canvas tent, like a broad white titanium brushstroke, keeping them dry as their mother's birthday rain falls steadily outside. And that is the end of chapter 8. I hope you enjoyed.